Today, I will show you an agentic coding agent I use for large and complex code bases. I've used GitHub Copilot, Cursor, and most other AI coding agents. Here's the problem with most of them. They work great on small and medium-sized projects, but break down on larger code bases. When you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of lines of code, complex dependency graphs, and systems that interact with other systems, you may spend more time fixing inaccurate AI solutions than actually coding. Before we dive in, Augment Code is sponsoring this video, which makes sense because I was already planning to talk about it as an AI coding agent I use for large projects. So everything you'll see is my real and honest opinion from my own experience. And it's great to see actual large companies like Uber, Spotify, Canva, GoFundMe, and DataStax use Augment Code for their projects. So Augment Code solved two huge deal breakers for me. Number one, it was actually useful to me when I worked on really large code repositories. It has a 200,000 token context engine with a smart implementation with real-time indexing and synchronization. It can track dependencies and understand ripple effects across files. Without it, you're constantly re-explaining. Remember when we changed that schema? Now update that API. But it doesn't remember, so you have to paste the code again, explain again, and by the end, you've managed the AI more than you've coded. So with Augment Code, I bypass multiple rounds of back and forth because it's good at managing context. Number two, it has a feature called Tasklists. I am a big proponent of specification-driven development. So I describe what I want to build, and it generates an executable project plan with hierarchical tasks. Each task can be run individually, so I can make changes in the plan and stay in control. The plan persists across sessions, so I can resume at any time. I don't like to have a conversation with my coding agent. I like it when it's just executing a plan that is built with full codebase understanding. Now, let me show you exactly how this works. I'm going to use an open source scheduling platform with hundreds of thousands of lines of code. It is used by real companies. I've already downloaded and built this locally. Let me show you what it does. Here is the running application, a full scheduling system. I will create a new event type called a conference talk. And let's make it 45 minutes long and save it. Now I can actually book an appointment using this event type. This is what we're working with, a complete functional application. Now let's see how Augment Code handles this massive code base. In VS Code, I'll go to Extensions and search for Augment Code. Here it is, and I'll install it. You can also switch to pre-release version if you want the latest features. Once installed, you'll see a new Augment Code icon in the sidebar. When you click it, you sign in with your account. And immediately after signing in, we can start indexing the code base. This is very important because it's building that 200,000 token context understanding of the entire project. Once it's indexed, look at what happens. It suggests intelligent questions about the code base. So let's click Explain the architecture. It identifies that Cal.com is a scheduling infrastructure platform, explains the tech stack, Next.js, TypeScript, Prisma, Postgres. It understands the key components and even explains the business model. So this isn't just a surface level scanning. Now let's add a real feature. We want to add a priority field to event types. First, let me check if one already exists. Is there already a priority field defined for event types? It confirms there is no priority field on event types, though there is one for host users. Perfect, so we're not duplicating existing functionality. Now time for my favorite feature, which is Tasklist. I'll switch to the agent mode by clicking the new agent. And now I'm going to type create a task list for adding a priority field to event types. When users create an event, they should have an option for high, medium, or low priority. This is where we can see Augment Context Engine in action. It's not just listing generic steps, it's analyzing the database schemas, understanding of the current data models, tracing through the API layers, and look at what it generated. A comprehensive list of tasks, database schema updates with migration, backend type definitions and validation, API layer updates for CRUD operations, front-end UI components for the priority selector, test coverage, documentation updates. So this level of detail is impressive. It knows we need to update Prisma schemas, create TypeScript types, modify TRPC procedures and form components, and it mapped the entire change across every layer. So for this example, I will streamline it. Let's focus on just the MVP tasks that we need to demonstrate that this feature is working. Watch as it intelligently updates the task list. It's removing the nice-to-haves like comprehensive test coverage and keeping just the essential tasks, schema types, basic API, and UI. It knows what's required versus what's optional. Now I'll execute start working on the MVP tasks. Here is what's happening. It's working through each task systematically. First, the database migration, then Prisma schema update, then TypeScript types that match the schema, then the API endpoints that use those types, and finally the front-end component that calls the API. Each step builds on the previous one, so no manual coordination is needed. The execution is complete. Let's verify that it works. I will create a new event type, breakfast meeting. And there it is, the priority drop-down with high, medium, and low options. Let me select high and save it. The feature is fully integrated across the entire stack. One more thing is documentation. Let's generate technical documentation for the priority field changes. So it creates proper documentation explaining the database changes, the new API endpoints, how to use the priority field, the TypeScript interfaces. This is what you would write anyway for your team. We took a real project with almost 1 million lines of code and added a feature that required a database migration, schema updates, type definitions, API modifications, and front-end changes. Everything worked cohesively. No broken dependencies, no missed files. The tool understood the connections across database, data models, UI, and business logic. We just described what we wanted once, got an executable plan step by step, and it just worked. So to me, that is the difference between when AI actually understands your entire code base versus just seeing the files that you have open. So I like this tool for working with large projects. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. You can find the link to try Augment Code in the description. And I'll see you in the next video.